So, with the NBA draft in less than a day, one of the biggest questions is if Ben Simmons reports. And, it's tough to know what to believe. Woj did have a report that, both the Sixers and Simmons' camp do want a trade to happen. But obviously, the Sixers aren't going to trade him unless they think they're getting a good deal. And Daryl Morey is obviously a GM that does not like to lose trades. So obviously they do have all summer to trade him, and this could very well drag on into and throughout next season. But if they want to get a deal done with draft picks, it's probably best to do it before the draft, and they have less than 24 hours. So in this video, I'm going to be pondering if Ben Simmons will be traded, because I think it's certainly interesting, and I think the Sixers certainly want a move to happen, but the trouble is finding a team that wants Simmons and is willing to give up what the Sixers would consider as equivalent value. And then also the Sixers need sort of a specific package unless they want to make it a 3-team deal, because the Sixers aren't going to be interested in like a Thunder package full of picks, because they are obviously looking to win now around Joel Embiid. Obviously it could work with a third team where Simmons could go to the Thunder. Thunder could give picks to third team, and third team could give competitive player to Sixers. Not that I think the Thunder are going to trade for Ben Simmons. I don't think they will, but there's just an example team of a team that can offer picks, but not really players that the Sixers would be super interested in. But okay, just overall, the vibe I'm getting from the Simmons trade rumors is that the Sixers are just asking for just way too much, and they're sort of shooting themselves in the foot. There was a rumor from Kevin O'Connor that from the Spurs, they wanted 4 first-round picks and 3 pick swaps, as well as a young player. And it has been mentioned that they want a James Harden-like package, which was obviously multiple first-round picks and pick swaps and young players. And they're just not going to get that for Simmons, I don't believe, because Ben Simmons isn't as valuable as James Harden. He just had a terrible playoff run. And yeah, so something is going to have to happen. Either he's just going to have to stay put until the Sixers find a package they like, which could never happen, or the Sixers are going to have to lower their expectations and trade him for something a little bit less than the package they're envisioning, because they're not going to get everything they want for Ben Simmons, because he's just not worth that much. And if I'm thinking about potential trades, it does get really tough. I mean, Simmons for McCollum has been mentioned multiple times. I've mentioned it, though that one isn't really one that's dependent on the draft, so that could happen really anytime. I think Simmons for Beal is a little bit interesting, because obviously there's been a ton of Beal rumors, and if he does request a trade and you're the Wizards, I mean, what package would you rather? Simmons, maybe like Maxey, Thibault, some picks, or potentially the Warriors package of Wiggins, Wiseman, and some picks, or there's probably going to be other packages out there for Beal. But my point here is that Simmons for Beal may not sound great for the Wizards, but it could be the best thing on the market. And then for the Sixers, obviously, Beal or Damian Lillard would be an ideal scenario in return for Simmons, because you're actually upgrading instead of, maybe trading Simmons for multiple players who you hope can be as good as him. Also, if the Sixers are trading Simmons, I would be a little careful, because obviously we like to get wrapped up in the fact that he can't shoot and he's not a very good offensive player in the playoffs and all that, but I don't think they can really afford to lose his defense that badly. So if they're trading Simmons, they should, obviously they do have Thibault, which is great. He's a great defender, and if Simmons is gone, he would probably see more minutes, but they still do need some defense and playmaking to not put it all on Embiid, because that can go badly when your defense is entirely relying on one person. See the Jazz this year. Yeah, so we'll have to see with the Simmons trades. Yeah, either a team is gonna offer a lot for him, which I sort of doubt, or he's not going to get traded, or the Sixers are going to have to lower their expectations. And I think it's a little bit of a shame that the Sixers are asking for this much. Maybe this is just sort of trying to raise his value, and then, before the draft, maybe an hour before, they'll sort of lower the asking price if they're that desperate to get a deal done. Or maybe they won't, because I think it's okay for the Sixers to go into next season with Simmons and Embiid, but obviously I think it would also be sort of a wasted opportunity. Embiid's 27. I think the Sixers should try and get something done, and if they can get an upgrade, because obviously they shouldn't be trading him for something that's not a good deal. Like, I've seen Buddy Hield, Marvin Bagley in the 9th pick. That to me for the Sixers just isn't good enough. But if they can get a deal done where they're getting some players who can help them out, some more shooting, and then maybe trying to keep a little bit of defense or making some other defensive minded acquisitions, then I think they should, because as I mentioned, Embiid is in his prime, and this is sort of the championship window for the Sixers. This is why they had the process. So we'll have to see with Ben Simmons. It'll be interesting to see how this video ages, because if it doesn't happen in the next 24 hours around the draft, then it could not happen for a little bit, and this story could drag on for to the trade deadline and even beyond that. So we'll have to see what happens. But if I had to predict if Simmons gets traded or no, I would say no, because I think the Sixers are just asking for too much, and his value is just too low that I don't think the Sixers will be able to pull off a deal for a Dame or a Beal unless Beal requests a trade, and then I don't think they'll be willing to trade him for almost anything less than that, and anything less than a package that is just that blows them out of the water and that meets their very high asking price. So again, I could be wrong. He could be traded within 24 hours of this video, but I don't think he'll be traded during the draft, and I think this story could go on for a little while. But anyways, thanks for watching this video, guys. Leave a like, subscribe to this channel for more NBA content, and I'll see you guys next time.